Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Liberty Libations number 158. Got a heck of a show tonight. We've got devastating sonic weapons were allegedly used in Venezuela. Mamdani's appointments are speaking nonsense. There's another Jewish Argentinian conspiracy theory. Major signs of war in Iran. And Trump goes after the Federal Reserve. So much to talk about. So little time. Our favorite platform, Rumble, let me bring this up real quick, has just added tips, and you can tip in Bitcoin. So if you watch this on Rumble and you want to tip us, if we entertain you or inform you, highly recommend just dropping us a tip through Rumble, because that's how I pay these fine gentlemen below me right here.
Or if you feel bad for us because we come here week after week after week.
Or if you feel bad for us. Yes, that's exactly right.
I have to say, if our show is informing you, I admire how disconnected from the news cycle you are.
Our show informs me. This is where I learn what's going on in the world. Is when you guys
That's why we keep Zane here, because he's the one who knows stuff about things.
All right. Well, before we get to our first topic, we've got some great news from Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz on alcohol guidelines. Alcohol is a social lubricant that brings people together. There's nothing healthier than having a good time with friends. There was never good data to back the 1 to 2 drink guideline, which was taken out, but don't have it for breakfast. So, yeah.
And then, of course, there's Buddy contradicting him.
Yeah, of course. The first comment is from friend of the show, Buddy, saying alcohol is poison. It's fine if you want to drink, but there's no net benefit to drinking. Disagree. If you watch this show, you know there's concrete evidence that there is a benefit to drinking.
I'm just on my laptop when I did that.
There's a side effect right there in real time.
All right, Zane, what are you drinking tonight, my man?
Oh, man.
I've got a mango craft cider.
Nice. Oh yeah, Ace is great. They have a really good guava one that Nikki's obsessed with.
I love guava.
Nick, you are apparently Mike Tomlin's replacement as head coach of the Steelers.
That's what I'm going with this week.
What are you doing tonight?
Stopped by the state store on the way home and grabbed this Yellowstone Select.
Oh, nice.
What is it? Beer?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Okay.
Bourbon.
I can't tell. I've never
Yeah,
heard
it says it right there. Yeah.
Dude,
I don't know. Never had it. I
had it
figured,
for a while.
let's give it a go.
Yeah, let us know.
Fair enough.
35. It was like $35. You know, it's right in the reasonable price range.
Yeah, it's right in the daily drinker price range.
That's right in the price range where it has to beat out Buffalo Trace, basically, because Buffalo Trace at $35 or less is like just the king for me. But
yeah. Alden, what are you not drinking tonight?
I'm not drinking Buffalo Trace. I'm drinking fucking rain. Do you know that line from At World's End or whatever it is, the Simon Pegg movie?
I know the
Or the World's End or whatever it is.
World's End. Yeah. I don't remember the
pub crawl. Yeah.
I don't remember.
And Nick Frost is drinking water and he calls it rain. It's hilarious. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking.
Pretty good.
And kombucha.
I'm drinking Ardbeg Wee Beastie per usual. And I'll pour one out for Alden since he's dead this month. All right, y'all. Let's just jump right in. We got a long show tonight. We got 4 big topics, and then 1 topic in the good news section. So let's start with, well, if I could pull it up. Hang on. There we go. All right. Venezuelan security guard reveals chilling account of U.S. weaponry used in Maduro raid. If you haven't read this account, we're going to read through it right now. Security guard. On the day of the operation, we didn't hear anything coming. We were on guard, but suddenly all our radar systems shut down without any explanation. The next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones flying over our positions. We didn't know how to react. After those drones appeared, some helicopters arrived, but they were very few. I think barely 8 helicopters. From those helicopters, soldiers came down, but a very small number, maybe 20 men. But those men were technologically very advanced. They didn't look like anything we fought against before. This sounds like a sci-fi movie. It was a massacre. We were hundreds, but we had no chance. They were shooting with such precision and speed, it seemed like each soldier was firing 300 rounds a minute. We couldn't do anything. And your weapon, the interviewer asks, and your weapons, didn't they help? And the security guard says, no help at all, because it wasn't just the weapons. At one point, they launched something. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt like my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. Those 20 men, without a single casualty, killed hundreds of us. We had no way to compete with their technology, with their weapons. I swear I've never seen anything like it. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon or whatever it was.
I feel like I'm playing Call of Duty Ghosts.
That is a wild account of a survivor of the raid to get Maduro. And it's not the only time we've ever heard of sonic weapons, which we're going to get to here in a little while. But Alden, had you heard that account before?
Not this story, but I've heard of other accounts in the past or whatever.
Well, what did you think of this security guard's account?
It's sad and hilarious at the same time, I guess. I don't know. There's like a comic tragedy of war. It reminds me of like when you play Civilization and you come upon like a tribe and they come out with slingshots and you have like a cannon and it's just like you just steamroll them or whatever. It's like that kind of comic tragedy. Like,
dude, I've never related to an analogy more in my entire life. The one you just played out.
You were like, what do you think of? I was like, I thought of playing Civ Rev back in the day. Like,
dude, the number of hours that I've put in playing Civ, I still play it on my computer all the time.
still throw it up sometimes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man. At first I just didn't think there was any way this was real. It really seemed like propaganda from the United States government to put out there to be like, basically, don't mess with us. He goes on in the interview to talk about like, I'm sending warning to anyone who thinks they can stand up to the U.S. And
it did read kind of like that. That's funny, but
it very much
though?
read like propaganda. But then it got syndicated, and a whole bunch of people started reporting on it. So,
but like I said, I've heard of other accounts of similar types of things or whatever. Some people, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but some people even purport that could have been used during the 9/11 whole situation or whatever. So,
yeah,
some type of focused sonic or energy weapon of some kind.
Yeah,
you heard it here first, folks. It's not propaganda if they also used it for 9/11.
Well, but we do know those things exist. I mean, they have it for riot control.
Yeah, I've seen the riot control ones. Yeah, and the riot.
But generally, those people don't end up vomiting blood.
No, but
because the intensity is lower for riot control.
Yeah. And it also like it's used to disperse. In this case, you crank it up even higher and just use it as an actual weapon instead of
it was set to stun.
Yeah. And it's not surprising that it would be a thing, right? You figure it out how to do it there and you just crank it up there. I mean,
test it on your own citizens and then use it at war. It's that
taking the radar out isn't anything crazy.
No, that's not.
They have electronic warfare planes. Like this is stuff that they have equipment designed to do. And I think we don't know the details, but we can assume that this is not, especially when you're dealing with a country like Venezuela, where they're running 20-30-year-old tech.
They're running our tech from 30 years ago, like that we sold them because we only sell it when we know that we have something 10 times better, and then we'll sell it to whoever. It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, that's exactly right. Zane, what was your thoughts when you first saw this account? Because it's a weird one.
Well, assuming it's true, because obviously it might be fake, but assuming it's true, I mean, I guess in a weird way, stipulating that the operation happened is kind of best case scenario, because if I was a Venezuelan bodyguard, I would rather vomit blood than die.
That's true. I mean,
if this is the cleanest way of carrying out the operation, stipulating that the operation happened, then you just get to pick how it goes down. This seems like one of the less bad options.
That is very true. I will say the description of it, if I was still a Republican and hardcore into the everything Republican back in the day, this would make me act exactly how Republicans have been acting online all week, like freaking stoked, singing some Toby Keith songs about kicking people's asses, like.
We'll stick a boot up your ass. It's the American way.
Yeah, exactly.
You sing that, and then it takes you 20 years to lose to a bunch of goat farmers.
Yeah, they don't really sing about that too much. I would love to hear the Toby Keith rendition of our war in Afghanistan.
Let's ask AI to make one.
Yeah, actually, we could. I kind of
should have thought about that before the show. I
think I can do that next week. Okay, that's my homework for next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reaction to it has been absolutely insufferable. It's been extremely difficult. Like y'all talked about Maduro quite a bit last week, but just even more so this week, just nonstop people acting as though this is like what America was born to do and what we have to do. And it's like,
it feels like Team America all over again.
It really does.
Yeah. It's annoying.
But the sonic weaponry, this will be of surprise to no one here, just reminded me of the Havana syndrome that has been documented for a while now. This guy details out the creepy history of sonic warfare. Go ahead.
You have it on the list that it's back in that Havana syndrome stuff's back in the news also.
Is it back in the news?
Yeah, there's apparently a claim that they got one of the apparent devices that they claim was used for that. Yeah, like yesterday, the day before, I saw something on Twitter.
Interesting. No, I did not look at that. Do we know what kind of device it was?
No, I'd have to pull it up on Twitter and drop it in the chat. Maybe I'll do that while you talk on this. And
it was just a vibrator.
We can take a look.
Military grade.
It's just a military grade vibrator. Yeah, for those who don't know what Havana syndrome is, Alden, are you well versed on the?
It's been a while since I've looked into it, but
there have been basically many diplomats and foreigners that have visited Cuba that have reported feeling very nauseous, out of sorts, having a ringing in their ears, being very disoriented.
When did that stop though? Like, wasn't there like a time frame where it was like more common?
There was a time frame. I don't remember. I don't think this article talks about when it stopped. But like this thing has been going on for a long time.
It says 2015. It was like a couple week long thing.
Yeah, there we go. U.S. Embassy in Havana reopened in 2015. Staff in Cuba were complaining about headaches, dizziness, and brain fog. Were they being targeted by an acoustic weapon? The American military were already reportedly exploring microwave ray guns that could beam invisible booms and spoken words into a person's head as a way to control crowds. So the idea seemed plausible. Every word in that sentence sounds like it's in a movie.
I've heard of the same. So the reason that I ended up here before again was I don't know if we're still on YouTube. I don't know. We'll get pulled off if I talk too much about this one. But
talk about it, man. Let's go.
During the whole COVID thing, there was different like scientists that were some in like other countries like Germany or whatever that were talking about it, and they were doing like live shows on YouTube or whatever, and they would get their show like shut down. One guy had his door kicked in and raided by whatever their version of like SWAT-esque kind of a thing. And then there was this one guy that had several, actually I think there was multiple, that had these type of like the Havana syndromes, and his wife had to take him to the hospital, and he was going through the same like nausea and disoriented, and it was like didn't know where he was. It looked like he was like sleepwalking or like just weird stuff, and it was several. It felt like a targeted thing potentially.
You said this was in Cuba?
No, this was all over the place. It was just sporadically happening.
Interesting.
To people. I think one of the ones that I was remembering, this has been a while since I looked in this, but it was Germany or something. But
interesting. We have a comment from the audience.
I was not prepared to talk about it, so if I'm missaying details, then whatever. But the general concept of these symptoms, and it felt like a targeted thing at anyone that was speaking against basically the main narrative of the time of the whole, COVID thing. But
interesting. Then they just figured out how to pull people's YouTube channels down quickly.
They did both, and then they were getting on other platforms, and then the whole thing of like shutting off their payment to PayPal and other things, and like a lot of people getting blocked that way. And it was like, and if they still kept going beyond that level, then it was like this weird stuff, like out of nowhere, with people that had no history of these types of symptoms and whatever.
Interesting.
So anyway, that's my crazy thing for the day, or second.
That is a crazy thing. Yeah. So there's been more sonic weaponry back all the way to the Vietnam War, where the U.S. military launched a top secret psychological campaign against the Viet Cong, blaring haunting sounds said to represent the souls of the dead. Operation Wandering Soul inspired the memorable scene in Apocalypse Now, where attack helicopters blast Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries. Yeah, so this has been going on for a long time. The FBI has been involved in sonic weapons, although they say they use them at the Davidians compound in Waco. But I feel like if they had, everybody wouldn't have died.
Yeah, so. Similar to Zane's point on this last event.
Yeah,
that if it actually worked and was implemented successfully, then it could have prevented more death. But go ahead.
Well, Waco, they were blasted, like it says there later in the art, a little bit further down, right below that. They were just basically blasting songs on repeat or just insane noises and just trying to drive the people insane.
Not like acoustically damaging, but just psychologically annoying. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't so much like an actual weapon itself, so much as just like psychological torment.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that? I mean, not too far in the future, we were doing that to folks
in the future.
Not too much in the future from that moment.
Oh, okay.
We were doing that to folks in torture rooms.
Didn't they play Spice Girls or something?
I didn't know it was Spice Girls, but that would be hilarious.
I think there's like records of them like playing the Barney the dinosaur theme over and over again as like psychological torture, and like Barry Manilow and like all these other kind of easy listeners.
Can you imagine being an artist and it comes out?
Oh no!
That your song was used to psychologically torture people.
Yes. That scene from Toy Soldiers where they play the song over and over, that was like a reference to this effect as well that I just thought of.
No, in 10 years, it'll come out that the CIA has been using the Liberty Libations podcast for torture.
It would make a whole lot of sense. It would make a whole lot of sense why our audience is who they are.
Yeah.
But it also, if they did do that with the Barney theme song, it makes a lot of sense why we're also screwed up. Like,
I never watched. I hated Barney, even as a kid. For some reason, I was not into it.
You knew he was a pedo.
Yeah, I also never liked Subway. So
Great.
There's a theme here. I don't know.
All right, Nick, you sent me this article or this tweet. The U.S. government may have found the device that causes Havana syndrome, a mysterious and debilitating condition first reported by U.S. officials in 2016. I think it was 2015, but the government quietly bought a device in late 2024 using Pentagon funding, and they are testing it to see if it is capable of reproducing effects of Havana syndrome. Since the first reports, more than 1,500 people, including diplomats, intelligence officers, and military personnel, have reported experiencing Havana syndrome in dozens of countries. Interesting. It's portable, backpack-sized, and contains components of Russian origin.
It's Russian origin. Vodka.
Of course, they had to throw in the Russian thing.
Yeah,
this tweet was put out yesterday. So
interesting. Okay, that's good to know. I'd be interested to see what happens with that thing.
Maybe the scene from Iron Man, the first one, where he's paralyzed with a little sound thing, was like a total reference to this. But
yeah, 2000.
I still haven't been sold completely on Havana syndrome actually being an attack. a psychological weapon. You know, there were reports that it's these crickets, and you know, you've got
It's these
people who say
crickets.
these crickets that
hear
were
that.
active that time of year, and then you know,
It's
you
the
just kind of
cicada
get
hatch.
that, you just like sort of that mass psychosis. You know, that kind of like one person thinks it, and now everyone's getting the idea in their head that they're hearing this and that, and they're, you know, experiencing these symptoms. Just sort of that psychological idea that maybe there is something, so I'm definitely feeling it. And
I don't know if I could tolerate when all the cicadas hatched here last year and I turned out all right. I don't know if I buy that.
I'm not saying it.
Feed
I'm
on
not
me,
saying
though.
it wasn't a thing. I'm just saying it. You know, it was quite odd.
Yeah.
And now they're saying it's been dozens of embassies and locations around the world, and it's like, well, they made such a big deal about it when it was just Havana,
Mm-hmm.
and now, you know, whether maybe that was because that was
Are
consistent.
you saying
was
that
hard,
you're not sure if just the Havana situation was one, or are you like refuting the idea that any of this technology exists, though?
I'm not sold on the Havana situation itself.
Specifically, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in smaller things, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe there was some. Maybe it was overblown because people were thinking one thing when it was another. I don't know. You know,
because I don't know either with that particular one, but I've heard of enough things like that. I'm open to it being true based on kind of like this, you know, connecting the web of a bunch of other ones, but I don't have like evidence that there is a Havana syndrome source like that. But
that's fair. I also feel like Cuba is one of those countries where if you first get there and you start drinking the water, you might also get all of those effects.
Yeah.
So there's a really good website. I don't know if y'all checked out the Discord today, called lethalindisguise.org. It kind of gives in-depth account, like history, health effects, case studies on all these kinds of sonic weapons and what they're used for, how they're made, what they do. It's a really interesting website. And they've got I don't know what this map is. I didn't come across this map earlier, but that's a good website to go to if you want to check out more on the sonic weapons. Yeah, y'all got anything else on this particular topic other than the fact that it was an insane testimony that read like a video game or a movie?
I mean, the Navy's been testing weird stuff in the water for years and years, and there's been like where they would do testing and then like whales and dolphins would like beach themselves with bleeding ears and weird stuff or whatever, you know, like just
wait, what?
Yeah,
whales
the Navy's been doing stuff underwater with like this for, I think that's probably where a lot of the like testing was going on with similar technology.
That doesn't surprise me because it seems like a safer place to do it.
Underwater, we don't hear it,
right?
Like because it doesn't transmit like beyond the medium very well. But the whales sure hear it, and they did not like it.
Well, it's not even absurd technology on that. It's simple stuff like the sonar coming off of these subs and some other.
Yeah, but there's specific other things where they would do like, I don't know, sounds that were apparently causing like actual damage to the ears of creatures, which wouldn't happen with sonar the same way. Like they might
There's so many articles about this, man. I'm looking right now. I just searched like whales and Navy sonic devices.
And it would happen in like a period of time, and then like months would go by, and then it would like happen again, you know, in the same area. Like, so it was like more of like a testing, like an event, like not just typical sonar stuff, but
interesting.
Well, if sonic weapons are particularly effective on whales, then some of those ICE protesters better watch out.
Zing.
They would have to be useful on cows, though.
Goodness gracious. Oh man. Okay. Well, yeah, I just found it to be a fascinating account of something that was, I mean, not popular with us, but popular with much of the United States and got a ton of attention. And now
I'll bring
people
up
are talking about that.
One last detail or one last like tidbit to just like chew on.
Yeah.
Related to this that this made me think of, and it's the rating of Nikola Tesla's documents in his hotel room when he died. And it's interesting that Trump's uncle was part of that raid.
Yeah.
And they took I'm sure all kinds of stuff, because he had experiments where he had a device that he put on the wall or floor of his building one time and was vibrating it to see if he could get a response in the building. And he had to turn it off or break it or pull it down or whatever, because he said, in his own words, that he was afraid his building was going to come down. Like, so he was working on this stuff. We're talking years and years ago, you know.
That dude is a freaking genius.
All the theories around what Nikola Tesla was working on, I'm not definitively stating that he wasn't, but he was also just a weird guy. Like, I heard a story once that he was like so OCD that he had to calculate the volume of his food before he ate it.
I think the genius and insanity walk a fine line.
I completely agree, man. And I think people can bounce back and forth across those lines.
And I think just because you're like, you know, you have your own idiosyncrasies and, you know, what, it doesn't mean you're not also brilliant in other ways. And
I mean, the fact
No, of course not. All I'm claiming is that he may have thought that he was like on the verge of a big breakthrough that he actually wasn't.
Fair enough. So
That's
your
fair.
question,
I'm not saying that he definitely was.
The reality of the situation. Okay.
The fact that he gave us Tesla coils to defend our red alert cities is just proves that he's a genius, and his legacy will live on forever. Anybody else play Red Alert?
Mm-mm.
What? None of y'all played Red Alert, Red Alert 2, Command and Conquer, Yuri's Revenge?
Oh, no. I played Command and when I was in middle school. I definitely played some Command and Conquer.
I thought this was a universal thing that happened with people my age. That is wild that none of y'all played Red Alert.
Was it like a game on like a PC or something?
Yeah, it was like the precursor to Civilization.
Yeah, but I didn't have, at that time, I didn't have enough money to have a computer that was do anything other than solitaire. So
fair enough. Okay. All right. Before we move on, Brian, shameless plug, says LPGA convention starts tomorrow. Yeah, y'all, if you're in the Georgia area, in the Peachtree City area, you should go on down to LP Georgia Convention tomorrow. Go to lpgeorgia.com to learn more about that. It's going to be a great time. There's a poker tournament. There's a lot of good folks speaking. Zane, what else is going on?
Zane and Steven.
Yeah, what else is going on at convention, Zane? Are you doing anything for
I'm doing all the best parts, you know, the bylaws committee report, the platform committee report, the credentials committee report, you know, really all the highlights, all the reason that you would show up there. I'm really the central part of that.
I'm so glad I came to you for that.
Is there going to be a report on dirt? No.
I will be collecting signatures to get myself on the ballot for Fulton County Soil and Water District Supervisors.
Oh, okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself.
If you're going to be there and you live in Fulton County, definitely come see me.
So while you're out there going to lpgeorgia.com, go to voteplacie.com as well. And do you have a newsletter? Do you have a sign-up sheet yet? Anything like that? No? Okay, then bookmark his website and go back to it at another time. All right, let's see. Next topic. Y'all are going to enjoy this one. We can rip this apart very quickly. This is Mamdani's appointment to the Office to Protect Tenants in New York City.
I am envisioning as a world in which the housing is owned by a collective and people are paying 30% of their income in order to live in their housing. If your income is zero, you pay zero. If your income is $500,000 a year, you're paying 30% of that. And the government is providing the government is the sort of owner, or not even the owner. The government doesn't have to be the owner, but the government is what's making sure all of that sort of works in cash flows.
The debt to GDP ratio right now is the highest since World War II. So how can the federal government also afford to start subsidizing rental housing costs?
The federal government prints money. The federal government can provide money for us.
So it's by printing money.
Sure.
This is your brain on modern monetary theory.
Yeah. I mean, utterly.
I don't know if that was meant to be satire, if that was real, but it
was
played out
100%
as satire to me.
It's real, man. That is his appointment to protect tenants in New York City.
Oh my God.
I mean, their whole thing is like, his whole thing was like, we're going to find basically ways to let the government seize rental buildings if we don't think you're doing it right, and we're going to do it the way we think we should.
What is
that's his whole
right?
thing. If they think you're a slumlord, then they're going to take the building from you and try to run it.
But what are the parameters
that
of that? Like, oh my
I don't know. Whatever the commies want, because that's what this shit is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's completely subjective. It has no basis in sound economics. We
went from sonic weapons to sound economics.
There we go. Should we just start calling it sonic economics?
Pay 30-something% in taxes, and then the other 30%, then another 30% goes to your housing, regardless of what you make. And then if
you want to eat, I guess that's 15.
I'm assuming that, and then you've probably got to throw some amount towards healthcare because they're going to they'd want to universalize it too, and you get 5% maybe of what you make, but at least everything's free, and you won't end up with maid or something like that where they're just offing you whenever you get too much of a burden.
No, 5% goes to maid.
So just the mere fact that like she couldn't figure out if the government owns it or is enforcing it, and then her solution to pay for it all was just the federal government prints money. Normally, they don't just say that part out loud.
I noticed that. Yeah, that's why I
normally
thought it
that's something that they're like, well, the federal government will provide. They'll just tax more. But no, she said, we'll just print money.
I mean, she did have
this is literal modern monetary theory. Yes. Like, so obviously people know that we don't like Keynesianism because it's stupid for a government to run up a deficit to try to stimulate demand at any time. But at least there is an idea within standard Keynesian economics that you can't run a deficit all the time. You're supposed to run a deficit during a recession, and then during the subsequent boom, you're supposed to run a surplus to pay it off.
Correct.
What modern monetary theory does, and even Keynesians like Paul Krugman have criticized modern monetary theory because of how blatantly absurd it is.
Yeah.
But it essentially is just what that lady said. We're a monetary sovereign. We can print money whenever we want. Therefore, there is no limit on the amount of services that the government can provide because we can always print more money. That literally is the argument. And they try to wriggle out of like, I mean, when you point out this will obviously cause hyperinflation, they try to wriggle out of it, but all of their responses are completely unconvincing. But that more and more people are saying pretty much exactly what she just said because the fancy new economic theory that all the progressives can buy into because it gives them a blank check to do everything that they want. But also notice when she was kind of going back and forth on saying, well, the government's not actually going to own it. They're just going to enforce exactly how it has to operate. What's funny about that is she tried to make it sound less like communism by making it sound more like literal fascism. Because what fascism is, if you kind of distill it down and kind of take away some of the racial elements that got embedded into it from like German National Socialism. The idea behind fascism is that you can still have nominally private property. It's just that whenever the government wants to, they're going to tell you, here's how you have to use it. And if you don't listen, they'll take it from you.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she'd be really happy to hear that she's promoting fascism. I'm really being an anti-fascist right now by pointing this out.
Yeah, you might as well sign up for Antifa while you're at it.
Hey, Antifa's an idea, not a thing.
Oh,
so I've been told.
My bad. I'd like to just take a moment. Audience, if you're watching right now, which I'm assuming most of y'all are, Zane got a brand new camera, so he's spitting truth at you in 4K now, and it's a beautiful thing. Clear. Look at his beautiful face; it's amazing. Yeah, fantastic. Nick, I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts on this ridiculous woman. What are your thoughts? Well, first of all, I had a question that completely went out of my brain. Yeah, what are your thoughts on on this little spiel she had and her appointment to Mamdani's cabinet or whatever he wants to call it.
Yeah. So, I mean, going down the economic rabbit hole.
Wait, she was an official? She was the one appointed?
She is an official.
I thought she was just speaking on their behalf or something.
No.
What?
She is an appointment made by Mamdani.
So when it comes to economics, you can't get something for nothing, right? Like if you're printing money out of thin air, money is a commodity, right? It's looked at it differently, but in its purest form, money is just another good. And
correct.
If you can just infinitely replicate, if you can just infinitely replicate that product, money, then the value of it goes to zero, right? That's how we get inflation. That's how we see the value of the dollar drop from, drop 90 something percent over the past 100 years since the Federal Reserve was founded.
Mm-hmm.
Just you print more, it dilutes the value. And that's why we Bitcoin, right? Because we know there's only going to be 21 million. You can't print that. And I think that would be, if this were to be implemented at the scale of somewhere like New York City, I think being that we're talking about an economic fascist model here, at the best, and like nearly communism at worst, if she's getting her way, you're going to see people start realizing real quick, like, I don't want this thing that can just be printed ad infinitum for free by someone. It doesn't hold value. It loses value. I want something that they can't control. They can't inflate away, and start looking at real assets like Bitcoin, or we've seen gold. We've talked about gold and silver going on a tear recently.
Yep.
People want something solid, something better money, and just to promote. Yeah, we're going to print whatever money to make housing as affordable as possible to anyone, just by saying, yeah, you're going to pay a flat rate of your income. So if you make zero, which, if you make zero and you're expected then to pay 0%, what do you think is going to happen? People aren't going to work when shit's given to them for free. And we saw this during COVID. People found any way possible to avoid doing shitty jobs that they didn't want to do because they could just ride it out through excuses on the government dole. And that is how you ruin an economy. That is how you ruin the currency. That is how you ruin society.
And I like how
we should also point out the obvious.
Hang on, Zane.
Oh,
what was Alden saying?
I was just going to say that it sounds like she wants to make it more affordable, and I imagine the target audience that she has, that with this in mind, is people with less money. But every time there's rampant inflation, it's going to make everything else more expensive, and it's going to affect the people with less money, I think, more, even usually.
Substantially more.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zane.
Zane, go ahead.
Yeah, we should just remind everyone of the obvious, that rent control is second only to carpet bombing in terms of how quickly it ruins the quality of rental properties. Like, this is widely acknowledged in the economic literature, that as soon as you introduce rent control, then if you make it so that it's impossible to operate your rental properties at a profit because you're literally not allowed to, then you'll just stop maintaining them. And the next time someone's pipe bursts and they need to repair it, the landlord will be like, well, I'm already losing money on this property, so I can't possibly be bothered to fix it.
Yes.
And then also, if the people who are even living there are not paying anything, then they're not going to be incentivized to care about the quality of it either. This is why Section 8 housing has such a bad reputation for just not being maintained and becoming dens for drug dealing, because the people themselves don't feel like they have any stake in it either. If I could ask her one clarifying question, I would at least ask, okay, if you make zero, you pay zero. If you make 500,000, you pay 150,000 on your housing. Do you at least get any difference in quality for that extra 150,000 that you're paying, or are you?
All animals are created equal, Zane.
So, because if everyone gets the same, then it really is just an additional 30% tax. So the people of New York City are already being taxed out the wazoo between federal, state, and city taxes. And then you're just going to plop another 30% on top of that. That sounds like it'll go well. And so what will inevitably happen if this is implemented, which hopefully it doesn't, because they always like to say all this stuff and then they don't really, they find that it's actually not really possible to implement it. But if it is, you will see that the only two kinds of housing that can survive this type of policy are absolute dumps and like the extremely luxurious places that only the mega wealthy can afford, because it doesn't matter how expensive it is, they have so much money they can afford to pay it anyway.
But that
everything in the middle will not survive this.
The luxury thing is a real issue, because you're going to see well, one, I mean, how much real estate is held by people as investments, so they're not living there. It's not a primary residence, or maybe it is, but they have other residences. Do they personally own it? Is it owned through an LLC or some other vehicle? You know, how do you say anyone in the world who has any kind of property in New York City pays 30% of everything they own, regardless or not of whether you're occupying that full time? Like, it gets really, really messy really quick there.
Yes.
Now, knowing these guys, they'll say, yep, if you have a property rented out to you, if you have a lease on a property in New York, then 30% of whatever you make anywhere in the world comes to us. And that's going to be an impossible thing to enforce.
Yes.
Especially with people who are super wealthy and they're, you know, so.
Yeah. And the thing I always take away from it is always the inflation side of it, the printing of the money. And that, I mean, that's what will drive the devaluation of all the work, all the labor that all those people have done. So the people that actually are paying the 30% of their income, it will slowly get harder and harder for them to afford everything else. And we've done, I don't know, dozens of shows on economics, on Bitcoin, on fiat, on inflation, on all these kinds of things. So if you're looking for a show or reels or shorts or anything to help bolster your case, if you're out there trying to pitch this to people who are economically illiterate, go to our YouTube, go to our TikTok, our Instagram. All of our stuff is there. And
smash that like button.
We lay it out very succinctly, very easily, very easy to digest, without being too offensive most of the time, which is great.
Finger the like button gently.
Yeah.
I like that I said that right after you said we're not too offensive.
That was perfect.
Perfect timing.
All right. Well, yeah, I think it's time for our next segment.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, 19th blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right. Welcome to Drunkard of the Week, the part of the show where we show somebody doing or saying something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not. Today's winner is not who I was going to pick, but just because Nick lobbied for it so hard, we chose Nick's selection for the week.
To do what we want to do.
Yeah.
We want to get loaded. Yeah. And we want to have a good time.
All right. The drunkard of the week is that I don't even know how to say the name of this particular animal, the Muntjac deer that went head to head with a rhino. at some zoo in Poland.
Yeah, apparently they're friends, and there's some other pictures that have come out of them like eating grass next to each other and stuff.
Dude, that's so funny. That's so wild to see. Like, what the heck? It looked like they were sparring. That was bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I saw it and I was like, yeah, this is a drunkard nomination.
This looks like a wiener dog and a deer had a baby.
It really does. It's exactly what it looks like. So you can nominate folks by normally it's not an animal.
Normally not.
You can nominate folks by tagging us on X at Liberty Libation or joining the Dollar Media Club and hopping in the Discord. Yeah, and sending us nominations through there. So
that are people.
Yeah, we got one of the smallest deer, if not the smallest species of deer, going against one of the largest land mammals. And just lowering his head and just like, I'm gonna fight you. I mean,
all right, David and Goliath story.
It's good, wholesome fun.
This next video, I'd never heard of this conspiracy theory. The more I looked into it, the more it made me want to think that there's some legitimacy to it. But we're gonna listen to this. I mean, annoying blonde chick talk about Plan Andinia that's happening in based upon what's happening in Argentina at this exact moment. So I think it's about a 2-minute video. So there you go.
That Patagonia, Argentina is in flames right now. This gets so much weirder and deeper than you can even imagine, so just buckle up. This is Argentina's based president, Javier Milei, total Zionist puppet, puts on the tiny hat and kisses the wall. Exactly 1 month ago, on December 9th, President Milei announced that foreigners can buy Argentinian land and develop it after fires. Now, as of January 9th, Patagonia is on fire. They're not even denying the fact that these fires were intentional, and you'll never guess who was caught setting them.
Una hora te vas de ahí. Una hora te vas de ahí. Estos son los hijos de puta que nos prenden fuego, la concha de su madre. Se van a tener y se van a la mierda, dale. Me acabo de dar toda la vuelta porque vi una nube de humo.
Yeah, that was an Israeli tourist, which is actually very common in Argentina and Chile because IDF members get sent there right when they get out of the military by NGOs that want them to map the land. They've been caught using military equipment while they're doing this, like radios and satellites that they then quickly hide once anyone approaches. They've also been setting fires to these places for years, which makes it even stranger that Milei would pass a law saying that foreigners can buy up land after it's been set on fire. They've been finding Israeli grenades near where these fires originated. They've also been finding busted pipes for the water sources used to put the flames out. And Netanyahu just happened to have a picture of Argentina with him at his last trip to the White House. Argentinian locals know exactly what's happening. They know that they are under Zionist occupation and that Israel is trying to steal their land and their country.
Este lugar para nosotros es el paraíso y nos quemaron el paraíso, loco. Nos dejaron, arruinaron todo. Y acá lo que pasa es que están queriendo venderle la Patagonia a todos los judíos, loco. Esto se sabe hace un montón. Acá todo el mundo lo sabe. Está lleno de israelitas, está todo el mundo comprando la tierra. Nadie hace nada. Estamos sorprendidos de que nos prendan fuego a la Patagonia. Sabemos que es a propósito. Lo tenemos recontra en claro que hay poderes que están del lado. Tienen un interés inmobiliario, tienen interés minero.
The claims that there is a plot by Israel to take over Argentina and turn it into basically their second base is not even close to being a new thing. Plan Andinia started being discussed in the 1970s and of course has since been labeled as an insane far-right conspiracy theory. The theory alleges that Plan Andinia is a covert Zionist Israeli scheme to conquer and declare a second Jewish state specifically in southern Patagonia, emerged in the 1970s in Argentine far-right circles. In 1971, ultra-nationalist economist and professor Walter Alden popularized it through pamphlets and articles in magazines like Caballero, claiming Zionists were secretly buying land to undermine Argentine sovereignty and establish Andinia, a mashup of Andes and Patagonia. There's really way too much that goes into this to even fit into a short video, so I'm gonna put this guy's Substack here. It has a tremendous amount of information.
All right. So that's the basic gist. This was something I'd never heard of before. Alden, since you're the king of conspiracy theories, had you heard of this this theory prior to this?
Not by name, I guess. I haven't heard of the Walter guy and the whole like official thing, but I've seen like just slow trickling trends over the years and stuff. But
so my biggest curiosity with this is after World War II, it's alleged that, I mean, it's proven that some Nazis went, but it's alleged that even Hitler went and lived in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or
what?
Chile. Yeah, there was a lot of.
What
South
the heck
America.
is going on here? Like, what? Why are there two conspiracy theories about the same country about two people that hated each other that aren't from that region? Like, that's bizarre, man. That's really wild, and I don't really know what to make of it.
We should have a whole video on World War II because it would take too long to get into some of it or whatever. But the joke of it is just that they're going just to start some shit back over there, you know, World War III over there. But just the redemption round. But
it's interesting.
World War II, I think, there's some aspects to it that would be interesting to talk about that I don't think. I have my own weird theories on World War II, and there's like a lot of world theater going on, and it's like Hitler being kind of like a puppet and an actor and like a whole weird thing, and it's bizarre.
Okay.
But again,
I mean, I'm down to do a few World War II episodes. I don't know if we could cover it in just one. It seems like a lot more intricate than even 9/11. And that one.
9/11 was one day, not 4 years.
I know more about 9/11, so I could talk longer about it, but I wouldn't say it's. Yeah, I would say World War II is probably more complex than that. But
yeah. Zane, you're the one who always brings us back down to non-conspiracy. So what are your thoughts on what she was just talking about? Because she's not the only, by the way, she's not the only one. I've seen dozens of videos today of different folks of different degrees of credibility making videos about this exact thing. Because a ton of forest fires have been started over the last month, and it's been Patagonia's burning.
I mean,
something to it.
I don't want to cut into Zane's time, but I just wanted to say in general, regardless of conspiracy theories, like probably a bad move to be like, oh, yep, you know, anytime there's a fire, it's just like a literal just fire sale just for the, you know, to sell to foreign entities or whatever. It's like a bad incentive. Like I feel like regardless of conspiracy angles, it's not a good move. But anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Zane.
Actually, Zane, a different question for you. Your thoughts on Millet over the past year or so, because at the beginning, most of us libertarians were super stoked about him, and it's kind of been waning for a lot of libertarians here in the US. So like, what are your thoughts on some of the things that he's done that was mentioned in that video recently?
Right. So I think that if you expected anyone to be elected and for them to like literally do all of the things that Murray Rothbard would recommend, I think that your expectations are too high. Like, this is a real politician that exists in the real world.
Right.
And by all accounts, I think that he is mostly successfully introducing like good economic policy, and the people of Argentina are a lot more prosperous than they otherwise would have been because of that. So you can say, oh, I don't like it that he did this, this, and this. How unlibertarian of him. But I think in the real life of your median Argentinian, I think that it is substantially better because Millet is the president of Argentina compared to what it otherwise would have been. And now in terms of this particular theory, this is the first time hearing of it. And there's some interesting stuff there. What?
That's because you deleted your Twitter.
I did delete my Twitter. It was a good idea. There was some interesting stuff there, like the fact that there are multiple news outlets that have been reporting that Israelis are starting these fires. The fact that there are locals being interviewed and locals seem to think that this is what's going on. I thought those were probably the strongest pieces of evidence that were provided in that video. The problem with all of this stuff is that when you only hear the side of the person advancing the theory, it's hard to imagine what disconfirming evidence even would look like. Like, what kind of evidence would make you think, well, this theory probably isn't true? Right. Like, it's kind of because the world is just a big place with a lot of things happening. And if you get 5 things that happen that would all kind of be considered evidence for a theory and you put them all into a video, it can be easy to think, wow, look at all these pieces of evidence and not a single piece of disconfirming evidence. This must be true. But maybe there is hundreds of pieces of disconfirming evidence out there that are so unremarkable that nobody thought to make a TikTok about it, and you wouldn't even think of what they could be.
Look, the Israelis, it's just an Israeli pastime, you know, a country the size of New Jersey with, what, a couple million people maybe? I don't think the population is that big. It's just a national pastime to fly to Argentina and start fires. That's all it is. There's nothing nefarious.
In Hitler's backyard.
Well, I don't know. You could imagine a program of the U.S. military where like where a bunch of people all go to the same vacation spot because that's just how the program is set. And now I'm not just claiming that there's nothing weird here. I'm saying that I'm not sure that this was really enough, or I'd have to hear someone taking the other side of it before I was really convinced. So it's just my typical word of caution on all this stuff. I would also just say philosophically, I'm not sure how it fits into the Zionist project to have Israel too in South America. Like the entire point of Zionism is that Israel is the promised land. Correct. The last time I checked, Argentina is not the promised land, so I don't really get why they would care.
The Andes are a lot higher above sea level, you know. So
because
but that's I mean, if you read the Bible, man, like Jewish people do not give a crap about any other land except the land that they came from.
I'm not here to talk about the religious side of it so much.
I'm here to talk about the religious side of it.
Well, being deep southern hemisphere like that means if the nukes fly, you're not getting wiped out because there's not much in the southern hemisphere to be hitting, especially that far south.
You ever play Risk? Do you ever put all your chips on Israel and try to win that game?
Always start. That is a good point because everyone knows the best Risk strategy is to start in South America.
No, what? No, it's not.
What?
Australia every time.
Kamchatka.
No, because then you're way too close to Asia.
No, but
you gotta start in South America and then you can expand into North America.
Australia's good as long as you don't get boxed in. If you get boxed in through the one path there, and you get wiped real quick.
But you either go for Australia or go all out and go Europe. That way you can just fight a 7-front war, and if you survive, you beat everybody. It's great.
I like to come at North America from Kamchatka and South America, and then
I mean, South America is a good strategy, but I mean, Australia is definitely a better one. It's just so much easier to.
I'm not going to feed into this anymore.
Whatever. Zane, I do agree with your point. I don't like, other than some strategic part on a map, I don't really see the point or the desire for Israelis to want, or Zionists to want, to go to Argentina. Like, that would be the only legitimate reason, considering how many thousands of years they've been trying to reclaim the promised land.
It's
like,
the only reason that you conceive of now based on what you know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just challenging that there could be another whole premise that you're unaware of. That,
well, so if Zionists do not believe in the Torah, in the Old Testament, then there's no guessing what they're going to be doing.
I would say Zionism is very different than Judaism. And
you're quite right about that, because there are a lot of atheist Zionists, but the thing with them is that it's still so tied up in the ethnicity of it, and it's still tied to the land. Even if they don't believe that it was divinely given to them as their promised land, they still feel like it's theirs in a way that they wouldn't feel like it's their life mission to conquer Argentina, because that's just not what the Jewish identity is.
There needs to be a sitcom made about Zionists settling in Argentina and realizing that Hitler's descendants also are in Argentina. That would be one of my favorite sitcoms ever.
But
coming soon to the Peaceful Sea Network.
The end of Zane's point, you basically said, but it's not what the Jewish identity is. And I'm saying, you're right. It's not what the Jewish identity is. I'm trying to separate the Jewish identity from the Zionist mission. And that
I'm also talking about like the ethnically Jewish identity as well, which would be tough to separate from Zionism.
That's true. Yeah.
I think they keep up like the appearance of it more than they actually care. That the short of it is, I think they have more of a sort of a persona of that, but there's other things that are more important at that level of thinking and scheming and planning.
Cheddar Cheese has an interesting take on it. Zionists want Argentina because the wind patterns carry sand from the Sahara over to South America. They must know the sand from the Promised Land blows onto Argentina, thereby making it theirs.
Maybe in Pangea they were once really close. I don't know.
I mean, those winds will also carry it up to North America too. So
they already own the United States. So we've already established that.
That's the perfect closing line for that.
All right, Shank.
Speaking of the opposite side, if you do want to read anything about the opposition, you can go to, what is this dadgum website called? I forget. foantisemitism.org. They have a whole article on why the Andinia plan is one more anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. They go into it. They don't provide, I've read this whole thing. They do not provide any actual evidence of anything.
Or any explanation why you have news articles reporting Israeli setting fires going back years.
Yeah, no, they just make like emotional arguments in this article.
What it always is.
It's what it always is. So this might not be a good source, but it would be an interesting source to go read this article if you want.
Can I also just add it, like speaking of like the emotional argument and whatever, like to anchor this in anti-Semitism or whatever is like I'm not saying there's not anybody that's like making that connection or whatever, but that has nothing to do with what the Jewish people and this event, nothing to do with it. Like it's
completely agree.
It's a more of a government thing, the same way that like I can criticize my government, and it's not that I hate all whatever Americans or Christians or whatever the hell you want to, like link to that. So like I just want to dispel the connection and like at least a little, and like just
100%, man. It's not the Jewish people that I'm upset with. It's the folks that are in the Israeli government.
Yes.
Most of them. And then these hardcore radical Zionists that just want to have Israel be a state no matter what and do mass genocide against people. Yeah.
The CIA for like when you're talking about like doing like, unscrupulous things and genocide and things I can't stand or whatever, like I hate my own intelligence in this country most of the time, and I criticize it constantly. Like, sorry to talk over you there.
No, dude. You said I hate my own intelligence.
I do hate my own intelligence. Like, I just wish it were better.
That was so good.
So that's a really important point, and websites like the one you just had up are really annoying. The one defense that I will provide for it of not giving any actual evidence and just saying a bunch of irrelevant nonsense is that it's actually rather difficult to provide evidence that you're not doing something.
That's true. Yeah. Well, you as an individual, it's very easy. You as a group of people, it's extremely difficult. Like if an individual can provide an alibi.
I was going to say group alibis are hard. Yeah.
Group of people, that's going to be a lot more difficult. So if there's millions of you around the world, kind of hard to prove that none of y'all are doing anything, So, all right, y'all, it's time for our next segment.
I hate that song.
I love that song.
I was asking about this last week, but you weren't here. So our hypothesis about what the lyrics mean, because on its face, the lyrics contradict themselves.
Yeah.
Because you can't not win and probably win. But our guess is that each line of the song addresses a different person. Like the "You Will Never Win" addresses you and Alden, and the "You Will Probably Win" addresses Nick and the audience.
Yeah.
It was actually the first two lines address us as a group, and the last line
And then
addresses the audience.
I just like that we're in a line of the never, never, probably. Like.
That was my idea behind it, and yeah, take it as you wish. That's hilarious. All right, Zane, take it away.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another week of Libations Trivia. We're glad you're with us. As usual, we have trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1 is 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2 is 6 questions, 2 points each. And round 3 is 4 questions, 3 points each.
Wait, we have 3
If you are in the audience, please leave a comment with your answer, and we'll take the first one. That's not an obvious joke. And our contestants here will write down their answers and display them when time is up.
Yes.
Tonight's categories.
I hate my intelligence.
Yeah, you need to update that as your tagline.
I hate my own intelligence. I'll do that if I can remember how.
Go ahead, Zane.
Round 1, haikus. Round 2, Venezuela facts. You know, now that Trump says that we're going to be in charge down there and we're going to be running it, I figure we all better learn something about Venezuela so we can all start governing it. And then round 3, in honor of the upcoming Libertarian Party of Georgia convention, rules of order.
Okay.
Okay.
I hate it, but let's go.
Round 1. Question 1. German tile game named for a southern French city. You place down meeple.
German tile game. As soon as you said German, I was thinking a specific game. Now I don't know.
It's not the game you're thinking of.
I'm fully aware of that. Thank you.
It's the game I'm thinking of.
I've heard the term meeple, but I don't remember what it refers to.
It means moronic people.
All right. Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Since it's moronic people, I just put Nick.
Alden.
I have this game. It's Carcassonne.
Dadgummit, I've played that game before.
Never.
You should hate your own intelligence, Jake.
Dude, every day.
I never heard of it. I chose a city in southern France. I said Nice.
Nice.
That's good.
The audience says Orleans, but it is Carcassonne.
Good job, Alden.
Carcassonne.
I saw that game at your house. I played it in Atlanta once, only once.
Never heard of this game, so
it's pretty fun, actually. It
Alden's
has
winning
similarities
right
to Catan, but it's yeah.
It's laid back. You build your own map. It's fun. Get drunk and play Carcassonne.
It is fun.
Question 2. 90s TV show starring David Hasselhoff and slow-mo running.
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Yeah.
Baywatch.
Alden.
Baywatch.
Nick.
Baywatch.
Slow-mo running got me.
It is Baywatch.
I'm guessing the audience got it too.
I would think so.
Audience hasn't said anything, but if it comes in the next couple of seconds, I'll give it to them.
Dude.
Question 3. The 8th president, English was his second tongue because he was Dutch.
8th president.
The audience also says there's not a single optimal strategy for playing Risk, so take that for what you will.
Terrible idea.
There's a lot of luck involved in Risk because you roll dice every time.
That's not luck. It's probability, and
AKA luck.
Oh my gosh.
It's luck when the probability airs in your favor at optimal times. It ends up being chance.
If I could reach through this screen and slap Alden right now, I would do that.
Now, see, when I win, it's a game of skill.
Right.
When I lose, it's because I had bad luck.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I don't remember if he was a president, but I put John Jay.
Alden.
I put Monroe. I have no idea.
Nick.
I wasn't sure, so I says Tyler.
Tyler.
None of you have it, but the audience does because it is Martin
Oh
Van
my
Buren.
God.
I should
have thought of that with the
That crossed my mind, but I thought he was later.
His name is Van Buren.
That was...
You should have guessed him. He's Dutch.
If I had thought of the name...
Yeah, but you know what our opinion of the Dutch on this show?
I didn't know we had an opinion of the Dutch.
Don't speak for me.
You're not in the same Twitter chats with me and Grumpy are in because we dislike the Dutch.
I'm not in any Twitter chats.
I personally love the Dutch, but whatever. Let's go.
Although I think Grumpy is Dutch, so but he would know what I'm talking about.
Well, then I guess he has room to talk. I don't know.
Question 4. Classic Steinbeck book. The Jodes have quite a bad time in the Depression.
Dadgummit. I do not. I'm so bad with pairing names with movies and books. I guess go ahead.
Jake.
I said Grapes of Wrath.
Alden.
It's the Melons of Lust. No, it's the Grapes of Wrath.
Nick.
Yeah, the only two Steinbeck I can think of is Of Mice and Men and Grapes of Wrath, and I said Grapes of Wrath.
Dude.
Well, you all have got it. It is the Grapes of Wrath.
The audience get it too?
The audience, I'm being told, is on a big delay.
Okay.
So I might not always immediately see it, but I am keeping track. So
I'm also keeping the score on our scoreboard that our very own Zach Varnell coded. So I've got it over here for when we're in between rounds. I also loved that Alden chose Lust to go with melons.
Oh yeah, that was
very
that was
appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad you noticed that.
Go ahead, Zane.
Question 5. Singer and actress starred in Bumblebee Sinners, married Josh Allen.
Yes.
Audience just got the last one, by the way.
That's a huge
He is the reason Josh Allen underperformed the last 2 years.
I didn't even know Josh Allen was married to her until like maybe 2 months ago.
I mean, they got married last year, but they've been together for a while.
See, I didn't know that because I don't pay attention to these things, but
I follow a lot of film stuff, so it is what it is. Zane, go ahead.
Jake.
Haley Steinfeld.
Alden.
Who'd you say?
Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, that's not who I was trying to think of the name of anyway, so I have no answer. Britney Spears, I don't fucking know.
Nick.
Yeah, I said Haley Steinfeld.
Is this like a common person?
Yeah, she's
I've
a
never heard
huge
that name in
movie
my life.
Huge movie star.
Oh, okay.
She's been in a ton of stuff. She's in Pitch Perfect.
I have not seen Pitch Perfect.
Dude, what? That came out when we were in college. I watched it a bunch of times. That's crazy.
I remember it coming out when I was in college, or it playing one night when we were drinking at someone's house in college.
That
Is
movie
it like
was-
a musical kind of thing?
No, it is not a musical.
Oh, okay, because I hate musicals.
It is
mostly.
not at all a musical. It's a movie with music, but it's not a musical.
They're singing all the time. I mean,
There's
it's
no
not like
one
they're walking down the
dancing.
street and they
They're
break
not
out. But yeah.
dancing to musical numbers. Like it's just them performing.
Oh, okay.
It's a great movie. It's hilarious.
Jake's definition of a musical is when there's dancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I get his definition, but also, It's on
A
the
musical
square
is when like lines of dialogue are delivered in a way that everyone just randomly knows the same song and dance, and it is
Correct.
Yeah, that's not what it
theatrical and weird.
Not
and
pitch
I can't. Yeah, okay, because I can't. I just almost can never.
You can't suspend disbelief.
Yeah,
for
it's
musicals.
for real. That's like a thing. There was like one musical I liked ever, and it was
Newsies.
called like it was called like Dancer in the Dark or whatever with like.
Have you seen Newsies?
No,
dude. It's Christian Bale and Bill Pullman. It's freaky. It's Christian Bale when he was a little kid. It's awesome.
I mean,
wasn't Newsies an answer last?
All right, we talked about Newsies last week. We're moving on.
You did? That's hilarious. Go ahead.
Question 6. A conic section generalizes a circle. It has 2 foci.
I just hate you. What?
The shape
What?
you're looking at on the screen. It has a name. What is it?
Okay. I mean, I think I know.
I would also pronounce it foci rather than foci, but
And that would be wrong.
not if we're doing it from the Latin.
Are we speaking Latin right now?
Maybe
Zane,
we are.
Go ahead.
Jake.
Zane, go ahead. I said oval or ellipse.
those are not the same.
Alden.
Which one? No, make Jake pick one. Those are not the same shapes. That's like trapezoid or rhombus. Like
Alden, answer
I
the
don't want to
question.
pick one. Oval, whatever.
no, I'm waiting for him. It's an ellipse.
I just picked one.
That says ellipse.
I knew you picked the wrong one, Jake. That's why I made you pick. They're not the same.
How is that the
Oval
wrong
doesn't.
one?
Oval doesn't exactly have a definition, so I'm
That's
gonna
an
allow
oval!
it. It is an ellipse.
Yes.
It's not an oval.
That is exactly an oval.
No, if it's a circle that's squatted equally like this, like if you were to rotate your perspective of like looking at a flat, then it's an ellipse. Like
that.
The conic
An
section
oval is an ellipse then.
No, it's like a
No.
rectangle and a square. Like an egg shape is like an oval, but that's not even. That's not an ellipse.
I would not
like,
call an egg shape an oval.
Well, you called this an oval, so I'm not going to go
That
by your
was an
definition.
oval!
No, it's not. The things that we learn about each other through trivia on this show.
I can't wait to murder Alden. Oh my god.
Audience also gets that one. Question 7. Building pictured here, used for storing a foodstuff, lots in Ohio.
Lots in Ohio. I thought we were under the assumption Ohio didn't exist on this show.
That's the official
Well,
position
it
of the
does.
show.
Okay.
The
Well,
official position of the show is Ohio doesn't exist.
yeah. So this question is confusing. But okay. Whenever you're ready, Zane.
Is food stuff a real word?
All right. Jake.
I said corn.
Caught me so off guard. Oh my god. I'm going with not corn. I'm going with silo.
Nick.
I too said it is a silo.
I said corn.
I misread the question.
I was not expecting a guess on content.
Dude, I was so fixated on food stuff that I just picked the food stuff. I was trying to figure out what Ohio was
What
most
food
known
is it
for.
stuffed with? Oh,
That's
it's
so
funny.
stupid. Zane, that coming.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the audience says grain dryer, which is close-ish, but I'm not going to give points to anyone because this is specifically a grain elevator.
It's a grain lift.
I would contest that maybe, but okay.
That was very strong.
So a
contested.
grain elevator is a silo with a fucking fan under it, and it keeps it at a relative set humidity point. So whatever, another rectangle and a square thing.
Alden, everybody just fell asleep during your definition of a grain elevator.
Yeah, well.
Question
Even
8.
though I'm a farmer.
Defunct baseball team played 36 seasons, then moved to DC.
If you hadn't have said that one word, I would not have gotten this correct.
Moved.
All right, would have taken me a lot longer. Go ahead.
Jake.
I said Montreal Expos.
Alden.
The Maple Leaves.
Wrong sport. Nick.
It says Montreal.
Did you know
The
that?
audience says Ottawa Senators, which is also the wrong sport because it is the Montreal Expos.
I think I'm the only one who got that correct.
Yeah.
Nick didn't say the mascot there. You're going to give it to him anyway.
No. Half point.
I'll take a half on it because I thought I read as you were about to answer, it popped in my head it was the Expos, but I could not remember that while I was still answering, but I knew it was Montreal.
It's the Montreal Van Buren's.
And I figured it was better to put Montreal than put something like the Montreal Alouettes or something that would be.
Yeah, if you put the wrong name, then you get no points. So you scored yourself half point.
There we go.
All right, it's very close at the end of round one. We've got Alden in the audience with 4.
Ooh.
Nick was 4.5. Jake was 5.
I felt like I was doing so good there, and I'm still losing.
Suck it.
Oh, that's a nice little scoreboard you got there.
Zach made it.
Well, Zach's great.
I know. Zach is great. He's going to be coming back to produce a few shows here in the next few months.
There we go.
Zach is good. Zach is great. Zach is one of us.
Okay. Round 2, Venezuela facts.
I like that got Jake so good.
That was so weird.
Question 1. What is the capital of Venezuela? It was founded by the conquistador Diego de Losada in 1567.
Hang on, I gotta sing a song. I can't remember. Dadgummit. Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
I said Caracas.
Oh,
Alden.
Dang it. Is that it? I know that's at least a name.
Alden, just tell your...
Losadaville.
Caracas.
Dang it.
Audience also says Caracas.
As soon as the word Caracas.
Is correct.
Man. I got upset with myself. I made a joke and then I actually should have made a real guess.
You didn't memorize the song when you were younger?
What song?
Oh, there's a whole song about the countries and their capitals in North and South America.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I remembered it from playing Pandemic.
What man, known as El Libertador because of his leading role in freeing several South American countries from Spanish rule, was born in Caracas in 1783?
Whenever you're ready, Zane.
Yep.
All right, then. Jake.
That would be Nacho Libre.
Alden.
I think it's Hitler's grandpa.
Nick.
I best guess I'm saying Bolivar.
The official full name of Venezuela is the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela because it is Simón Bolivar.
Nicely
Audience
done.
also has it.
How did my guess not get even a chuckle out of you frickin' nerds?
Because it wasn't funny.
That was hilarious. There's Libre in the guy's name.
Oh, man. I think it's just because we hate that movie.
Yeah, I hate that movie too. My brother loves it.
Question 3. The forests of El Avila National Park are home to a rare black type of what nut? This nut is sometimes used in a filling for a halaca, a traditional Venezuelan dish like a tamale.
Rare black type of what nut? All right, I guess go ahead.
Jake.
I don't friggin' know. I said macadamia. There's no way that's right.
Alden.
That's actually what I said.
Nick.
I'm
But there's
saying
no way it's
walnut.
I mean, there are black walnuts. I don't think they're rare though.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Oh.
It is the walnut.
Are you kidding me?
How was that
There are
rare?
black walnuts all over the U.S.
Okay, if you look at how the question is phrased, I did not say that all black walnuts are rare. Just this kind of black walnut that's in this national park.
I would have totally said walnut, but I was
Hang on.
can't do that.
Rare type.
No, it says are home to a rare black type of what nut?
So it's a rare black type, not a rare black type of nut.
I can't believe how long we're talking about black nuts on this.
If we go further down this conversation, we're going to get strikes. So
I know. That's what I'm trying to say.
Who got that right? Nick in the audience?
Nick. Audience doesn't have it yet, but maybe it's coming.
I even like zoomed in on this and was like, that looks like a fucking walnut. Like,
I had the picture there right on the slide for you to look at.
I know.
That's what I looked at. I saw the picture and I'm like, that. Well, best guess, black walnut sounds like a thing. So
it is, but I thought it was common as hell. I don't know. I eat them all the time.
Seriously, I thought that was a common thing. I didn't know there were multiple types of black walnuts. I thought black walnut was a type.
Well, you learn something new every day.
I'm so animated tonight.
Yeah, you really are. Yeah.
Whatever. Keep going.
Question 4. The Catatumbo lightning, which occurs for several hours a day for almost half the year, occurs over what body of water? Are you doing the Trump impression of the disabled person?
Goodness gracious. Oh. Go ahead, I guess. Whatever.
Jake.
Said Atlantic Ocean.
Alden.
Catatumbo Bay Watch.
Nick.
Callback.
I fought the urge just to guess and say Lake Titicaca, even though I know it's in Peru, but I do enjoy the name, and I just guessed the Caribbean.
This would be Lake Maracaibo.
Obvious.
How was I supposed to know that?
No one
Everyone
is
knows
supposed to know that. Not a single human, even the Venezuelans. know that.
This is the most famous lightning on Earth. It's like so much lightning.
No.
Well, point to the lake on the
It's
map,
like
then.
40 lightning strikes every second or something.
And it only happens there because of the ionic charge of the black walnuts that are there. That only happen there.
Are these
They
close
only
to the
exist
black
there.
walnuts?
I don't know. I'd have to look at a map. Anyway, on to another
drinking
water
of walnut
question that
sugar.
none of you are going to know. Question 5. This map depicts the course of what river? It is home to river dolphins known as botos, some of which are pink.
I literally went to write down the name of the dolphin because I know that, but I don't know so never mind. I don't know the river. But I know the dolphin, so.
The audience said Gulf of America for the last one.
That's awesome. That's
That's
hilarious.
perfect.
That should score, actually.
Go ahead, I guess.
Jake.
Amazon.
Alden.
Amazon or Bezos River,
Nick.
whatever you want.
The lesser Mississippi.
Audience also says Amazon, and I've got to say, how are you expected to govern Venezuela with this poor knowledge of Venezuela? I was really expecting more out of you.
I was going to say
This
the
is-
Boto River, but I didn't think that would be correct.
This is the Orinoco.
I'm really pissed that it wasn't about the dolphin.
The mouth of the Amazon is in Brazil, so I knew it wasn't Amazon.
Yeah, I knew
That's
it
all
wasn't
I knew.
Amazon too, but that was the only river in South America that I could think of.
The Bezos River, man.
The Bezos River.
Yeah.
All right, maybe you all can get back on track with question 6.
I doubt it.
From the Spanish for party, joropo is a popular style of folk music and dance in Venezuela. Joropo is comparable to what Spanish and Portuguese style, which, in another context, the singer of Bohemian Rhapsody asks Scaramouche to perform. Oh, and I think I can play a sample for you here.
No.
Real quick.
No, we got it. We got it.
The song?
No, not the. We play you a sample of a joropo.
Oh God. Okay. I was
Let me
like, what?
pull it up real
No.
quick.
Pause Fat Rat Unity.
Now we just got awkward silence going
Yeah,
on.
that was
No, let's hang on to it. Everybody shh.
This is acoustic torture, like we were talking about earlier.
No one can hear that.
I can't hear that.
Yeah,
I
we
hear
can
nothing.
hear it.
I don't.
You don't hear anything?
No.
No.
All right. Well, this.
I hear the sound of viewers leaving. That's all I hear.
Well, that didn't work. Anyway,
No.
go look it up.
Okay.
After the
Once
show's
we know
over.
the word, right? Yeah.
All right. I just said
All
tango.
right, Jake. Alden.
I said Fandango.
Nick.
I says tango.
Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Audience
Okay,
also has it.
I missed one letter.
I'm sorry. There's just no
No,
way
maybe
that that's a style of dance. What?
Yeah.
That's
What do you
insane.
mean?
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know the
Website.
dance. I just know the Queen song. So
I know the Queen song. I just assumed that I had been mishearing the words all these years.
Me too, Jake. That's how we came up with the same answer.
That gummit. That freaking gummit.
You really do hate your own intelligence, Jake.
I hate so many things at this moment.
All right, scoreboard says.
All right. I've got Alden with 6, Jake with 7, audience with 10, and Nick with 10.5.
Even with getting that last one, I'm in last place.
Yeah.
Okay.
You and me, buddy.
We're
You and
doing
me.
all right.
See,
I was in the
not
lead
gonna
after
win.
one round and got
gonna
0 in round
Probably
2.
win. Yeah.
No, you got 2. You
No,
got
you
the
got
first-
Cre-
Oh no, I got
Caracas.
Caracas. Okay, my bad.
All right. Round 3, rules of order. Question 1. What man's experience with chaotic meetings of various civil organizations prompted him to publish the first edition of his Rules of Order in 1876?
How do you spell that? That was going to be my guess, actually.
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
It was obviously Robert.
Alden.
It's Mark Twain, I think.
Nick.
I says Robert.
You also said Robert?
It's Robert's Rules of Order.
Yep.
It is Henry Robert.
Oh.
How many points do me and Nick get?
3.
Yeah.
Because with names, because we've been through this before, we can say the last name only.
I thought it was Robert the first name, and I was like, why are we both just guessing Robert? I thought Jake did it because it's his name, but...
Don't spread that around, please.
Oh, my bad.
Did you just dox Jake?
I'm
Did
sorry.
you just dox me? No, I'm just kidding. Everybody knows what my name is.
All right. Question 2. When debating a main motion, a member may introduce an amendment to the motion. When debating an amendment, a member may introduce an amendment to that amendment. What term refers to amendments to amendments?
I really just... I have so little respect for you after this round of trivia. This is so infuriating. Oh my gosh. Amendments to amendments.
Jake.
I cannot remember. I don't freaking remember. Nick's gonna know though, because he's the guy that does this at every freaking national convention.
Alden.
Is it an addendum?
Nick.
That's a good guess.
I'm blanking on
though.
this one. Is it a secondary amendment?
Yes.
It is a secondary amendment.
Well, that's annoying. Is an amendment to that a tertiary amendment?
No,
tertiary amendments are not allowed.
Oh,
tertiary amendments are not allowed.
Oh, excuse me.
Otherwise, he would
Draw
really
the
fall
line,
down the
or he
rabbit
would just
hole.
just amendments all the way down. Yeah.
Yep, 2 levels of amendments.
Well, never mind.
Question 3. What motion allows the body to temporarily conduct business in a way that would not otherwise be permitted under the rules? It requires a 2/3 vote to pass.
Alden's never gonna get these.
No.
The audience has yet to leave a single comment since this round started.
Yeah.
You actually have a big audience tonight too, so this is kind of shocking.
There's people in the audience that I would expect to know this one.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Some quack, where you at?
That's what I was thinking.
Go ahead,
Jake.
Zane. A motion to suspend the rules.
Alden.
The spoofy goofy.
I would much prefer that.
Nick.
Suspension of the rules.
Yeah,
really
Jake's
just literally that.
Jake's 1 year on the Georgia XCOM really coming in handy here. It is suspend the rules.
Oh my god! So in order to suspend the rules, we call it suspending the rules, and a second amendment is a fucking secondary amendment. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, all right.
The terms make sense, don't they, Alden?
I'm gonna guess the literal thing on the next one, and it'll be some obscure name, and I'll be mad.
You're correct. The next one will be an.
I'm mad preemptively.
Alden, just go to a libertarian convention at some point, and you will have a new respect for me, Nick, and Zane in a way that you didn't think was humanly possible.
No, I in theory, I get that, but
you, in theory, just go sit through one.
Oh God, I'm too ADHD for that. I don't know if I could survive.
Alden, I need to fly you to national so that you can be part of the panel and stuff.
Yeah, you can get drunk there. You can sit around and get drunk all day.
Yeah, you sit there, get drunk, and then
is there a name for that when you get drunk there, or is it getting?
It's called
drunk
libertarianism.
There? Oh, okay, yeah. Perfect.
Question 4. What motion immediately ends a meeting if passed? Oh, some quack did get suspend the rules, by the way.
Good job, some quack.
As we expected.
Oh, and they also got the previous 2.
Are you kidding me? I was winning. No, I was beating them. I wasn't winning. I'll never win because Nick knows all these. Dadgummit.
And they also just got this one too.
Wait, they've got all 4?
Yeah.
I was gonna be second, and now I'm.
I at least go into this knowing I won't win. So,
Alden, that's why I beat you at fantasy football this year.
For a question about rules of order, people are actually getting a good number of them right, so I'm proud of everyone.
I knew we had some nerds in our audience.
Go ahead, Zane.
All right, Jake.
Motion to adjourn.
Alden.
Oh, I said adjournment to be silly, but that was basically what I was.
That's
Nick.
it.
A motion to adjourn is always in order and not debatable.
And trivia is adjourned.
I got specifically that word. Does that mean anything more than these guys? Just tell me I'm better at this one.
You're a special snowflake.
Yay! Thanks. Yay.
There you
Which
go.
means at the end of trivia, we've got Alden with 9, Jake with 16, audience with 22, and Nick with 22 and a half.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Wait,
The scoreboard's cool. Zach, since I know I think you're listening and watching.
He's watching.
Maybe make a button that says like show results for the end there, and then go from 4th place to 1st place.
Ooh,
that way
that's good.
That way we can reveal it. That'd
And
be
maybe
pretty sweet.
make a button that says give Alden pity points and just spam that button.
I moved to change trivia a slight bit and say the 3rd round you bet points that you have accrued in the previous 2 rounds.
Is that going to be
we going to do that with the
motion
audience?
to bet points? Like
the audience just keeps going. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Oh, like a Jeopardy, like where you gamble what you have. I like that actually. Give me a fighting chance at the end.
I'm not opposed to this concept, so.
So then, Zane, figure out how we'd make that work with the audience, and let's implement it.
Yeah.
Now, Zane,
I think the motion you need for that is refer to committee.
I would like to make a motion to suspend Zane from all duties on Liberty Libations so that I can implement whatever I want.
Second.
Deal.
Thirded.
I object to consideration.
I'm actually
moves to give Alden extra points for spelling it right.
I still am in last place, but thank you. Yay.
Mitch says, Mitch, you changed your name. Mitchell Johnson Rosewood, the band. Explain yourself. Also,
Rosewood,
we need
like
to
a
put the quiz on
fretboard,
Placie. That's hilarious. Yeah, are you referring to Citizen Kane? What is
That's
this?
Rosebud.
That's Rosebud. Yeah. So what is Rosewood the band? Is that an
Rosewood
actual
just made
band?
me think of a guitar fretboard. Like often they're made of rosewood. But
Mitch, did you start a band too?
Yeah, does Mitch have a band going?
That's cool.
Could they
He
make
says
us an intro
YouTube
song?
changed it. YouTube
What?
does some weird things. Okay. Well,
Anyway, Zane, I'm surprised you actually went that simple on the rules of order stuff. I thought you would try to trip us up with between like laying on the table and postponing.
Are you serious? I don't even understand what the difference between those things are.
And,
I know about laying on the table.
And things like objection to consideration of the motion. That's a fun one I like to pull up sometimes.
Nick, please define fun in that scenario.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
I'm sitting on a meeting that's driving me crazy, and someone brings up something stupid, and I know everyone doesn't want to deal with it, but someone seconded it, so I just move that I object to consideration of the motion. Then we go to a vote to not hear it, and then we move on. So it saves me time from dealing with bullshit.
Are you trying to neuralize us?
Just forget how bad my performance was.
Plus, it's one of those things that don't come up quite all that much, and then.
So, some quack made a motion for Nick to be the trivia master sometime. That's a good motion.
Then if Zane comes, I did do one.
No. It would be when I would normally be hosting. It would not be when Zane is hosting because Zane can suck a butt.
I did do trivia the one time.
Zach says things have to be taken off the table. Postponed stuff automatically comes back. What is he referring to?
Yeah, that's right.
Laying on the table versus
That's when you're on
postponing.
the table.
Oh, I didn't. No, I should not have.
You got to take stuff off the table first to lay on it. You know?
Yeah, because everyone always says table, table this, table that, but what they really generally mean is postpone.
Can we table this, actually?
Yeah, we can.
No, we need the postpone.
There we go. We tabled it. So now I'm the only one who gets to speak. Y'all can all be tabled. There we go.
Postponing it.
No, we needed to postpone it, so we have to talk about it again next week.
Can we have a recess?
Goodness gracious. All right. Our next topic of the evening is we should not have serious topics after trivia because it just goes haywire about half the time.
Yeah.
Our next topic
I wasn't even drinking.
Is war in Iran. It just seems completely stupid at this point.
This feels irresponsible to talk about at this point.
This is a video of Iron Dome missiles being transported in Israel. There you go. There's the missiles. We also have a few other posts on what's happening over there right now. U.S. strike on Iran reportedly called off at last minute. Trump apparently almost greenlit a strike on Iran last. Also, if you're going to do reporting, saying apparently is not a good way to do reporting. Almost greenlit a strike on Iran late last night, then pulled the plug minutes before execution. Iranian airspace has reopened and forces forces scrambled from Al Udat. How do you even pronounce that one?
Who cares?
Okay. We're told to stand down. Sources say Trump halted it because advisors couldn't promise a decisive regime-toppling blow and warned Iran could hit back hard, and the U.S. might not have enough regional assets ready to cope. Right now, tensions are still high, but war didn't start tonight. This was last night, everybody. This was last night that we almost started, apparently, almost started war with Iran, which is something that we've alluded to many times over the past few weeks.
Yeah, but last night it was real. Like, I mean, I was posting updates in there, and I mean, besides getting videos like that, there were tweets showing a flight that took off from New Jersey, New York area to Tel Aviv. To Israel, turned around just after takeoff. Iranian airspace was closed, and flights were actively avoiding it. Just everything just cascaded into, something's going to happen right now. And so much so that, reports over eastern Iraq were that they had heard fighter jets. So, it really looked like things were about to pop off over there last night.
It really did.
But did you know that the only flights that were allowed after flights were grounded on 9/11 were flights back to Israel?
Yeah, let's not get into that right now.
Dude, I'm just going to make a series of our next trailer for this show is just going to be Alden connecting every topic we talk about back to 9/11.
But did you know? And that makes me think of, but did you know?
I'm going to go back and rewatch 158 episodes of this show in order to find every instance that you do that.
I'd be afraid that this has been going on for 3 years now. I'm afraid to know how many times the word 9/11's come out of my mouth in 3 years. My God.
Well,
when it was not the topic already.
Goodness.
We had, and then other weird stuff. Israel then came out last night and said they weren't going to participate in anything, in any attack the U.S. government might do.
Dude,
so
why do you have to step on my next thing? According to the IDF, Israel is opting to stay out of an imminent conflict between the United States and Iran.
Apparently.
There you go. Apparently.
Yeah. So our greatest ally, once again, Benjamin Netanyahu flies over here a week or so ago and does you should attack Iran. And then Israel goes, we're not actually going to participate. You guys go do it for us. Dog on a leash there. And then I don't know if you plan on mentioning it, but there seems to be reporting that looks consistent with a possible Israeli underground nuclear test last night, this morning.
Really? Okay, no,
I think I posted a link to that, but there was a sharp, short earthquake reported near Dimona, which is the Israeli nuclear facility
in Argentina.
Yeah. So, it's hard to say what's what, but it appeared as an earthquake. It wasn't consistent with, no aftershocks, no this, no that. And the location of it was close to their main nuclear facility. So there's speculation there was an underground Israeli nuclear test that I saw. I didn't verify that beyond that, but I saw a couple reports on Twitter mentioning this.
So, in the libertarian sphere, there was a lot of criticism on Trump for performing that military campaign that basically apparently wiped out the Iranian nuclear program. And they said that it was a 12-day war is what they're calling it now.
Something like that.
What I think people forget is wars. You don't always know that you're in the beginning of a war when the war has already started. And the fact that just a couple months later, there was a strong possibility or probability of us going to war and bombing Iran last night, like, leads me to believe that there's no 12 days war. It's still ongoing, and it might be a slightly cold war at the moment, but
like a lukewarm war.
Well,
lukewarm war. Yeah.
As the reporting there mentioned, he was told that it might not be decisive and a strike back from Iran could hit hard and we might not have the assets. The other reporting I was seeing is that carrier groups from the South Pacific are moving that direction. So they're pulling the carriers out of the South Pacific and moving them over into the Gulf there, I guess. And, is that what they need? They need more missile cruisers and aircraft carriers in order to do it. I don't know. But that also says, from what I saw, the speculation was from their current position, it would take about a week to position. So, are they going to sit back there a week? Is it going to calm down? But also, we have horrible people in the Trump administration, like Marco Rubio, who's probably in there pushing for it, and Ted Cruz, and Lindsey Graham was on Twitter yesterday with the Shah's son. There was a post that went out, and so it's still probably there, but if there's it's one of those things, I guess. What was the other time? I guess the first time, in his first term, when Iran shot down that drone that went into their airspace, that crossed into their airspace.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we got to do this and that." And he was like, "Well, it's a drone. Let's not go overboard here." And then or like whenever they back and forth and Iran hit one of our bases in a corner where no one was and no one got injured. And he was like, we're done. Was he backing off because after the Venezuelan thing the other day when he was like, "Hey, we outdone, look at how successful we are," and to turn around and he's riding high and thinking, "Okay, we're gonna go do this and we're just gonna take out all these bad people now because nothing can stop us." And then he gets the report like, actually we're not as confident that we're gonna be successful on this, and he backs off. And people are speculating the whole, it's just it's posturing for a deal or something. But I think we're past that point, and I think
it's intriguing, man. Like, it's hard to understand exactly how Trump operates because about half the time you think he's just fueled by pure ego and emotion, and then half the time you think, that was actually an interesting intellectual way to go about something. So I don't friggin' know. The guy is I don't know. I don't even know if he's incredibly intelligent or just brash and just gets it done because of how
a T-nigma.
Alden, you had to chime in for that.
Yeah, that's all I have to say on that.
It's just a weird situation. I don't know. There have been a lot of libertarian pundits and commentators and analysts talking about how only time will tell if the 12-day war was actually a 12-day war and if Iran has actually been suppressed or negated or what have you. I just don't think. I just think that I have a strong suspicion that we'll be at war with Iran in the next month or two. And that's not where we want to be. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think we actually have any reasonable political interests in Iran. And I think it will only further the hatred that people have for the United States government all around the world. I'm getting pretty sick of this crap, man. And going in and taking Maduro, it may have turned out well for Americans, and you may see a bunch of Venezuelans partying in the streets right now. But my gosh, the things we've done to these countries where we've toppled a regime only to allow another regime to come into place and utterly destroy that country. That's happened dozens of times with the United States in charge of the situation.
Yeah, it's like, forget new boss, same as the old boss. It's been new boss worse than the old boss.
Our own Stephen Hilton is in the comments. Our war with Iran will end quicker than the Falcons' playoff hopes. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Well, I mean, that's what people were saying with the 12-day thing, and it just does not seem like that's actually the case. So, yeah, I don't know. Zane, any final comments before we move on to our final topic of the evening?
No, you pretty much covered it. And I made this point last week, but it bears repeating. The way that you mess up whatever will come naturally out of these mass protests of the Iranian people against their own government is for us to start bombing them. Because if we start bombing them, then inevitably we'll start hitting non-combatants. People get upset. We'll completely botch it. The U.S. military is not good at nation building. People people claim to understand it, but they don't really understand it because they keep doing it over and over. It's like the conquering and invading is the easy part. It's not in question that we can do that. I mean, Iran does have 90 million people, as Ted Cruz does not know. So it wouldn't be trivial, but the question is obviously not could we conquer them. The question is, could we give the Iranian people a better government than they would end up with just managing the protests against it themselves? And I think you're delusional if you think the answer to that is yes.
Completely agree. All right. We've got one more topic for the evening, then we'll go watch some funny videos. So here's a video to lead us into the next segment.
Your ATM is safe. Your banks are safe. There's enough cash in the financial system, and there is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. An infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
An infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need...
All right, so that's all the money printing that's happened in the Fed over the last few years and will continue long into the future. Here we go. Here's Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve, being a giant baby over getting investigated by Trump's administration.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike.
He thinks that's
In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
Gosh.
All right, a couple things on this.
Yes.
Because on the surface, he's probably right. the particular thing about the renovations or whatever that the DOJ is going after him for probably is a bunch of nonsense, but that's kind of besides the point, because the bigger point is what he said there at the end, where it's like, oh, my job is to help the Fed set interest rates based on economic conditions and what will best serve the public and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that all of that is smoke and mirrors. We shouldn't even have the Fed. And if you're at the Fed saying that that's what you're doing, you should feel bad. And if you get and if the DOJ comes after you for renovating your stupid office building, good.
Yes.
Dude. I do like to see something thrown at the Federal Reserve, just like at all, but I do wish it were something stickier. But
it absolutely. So you're right. Like, this is the good news section. I mean, the fact that Jerome Powell has to go on camera and say this stuff makes me extremely happy. That's the good news part of it. The annoying side of it is that Trump is like investigating them for stupid, dumb reasons that don't have anything to do with America or anything to do with what the Federal Reserve actually does. Like,
the grounds of it are clearly going to get tossed out, and it's not going to go anywhere. There's nothing like is going to fundamentally change from it or whatever.
There is no there. It's like eating cotton candy.
But the fact that we got to see Jerome Powell go on camera with a overly sensitive mic where you can hear every
that was a really close mic. Yeah,
that was delightful. That guy is such a turd. He doesn't understand. Like, I know better economics than the chair of the Federal freaking Reserve.
Well,
like,
he probably knows
depressing.
It, and he's acting against it, and that's even worse. I think.
Dude, I'm actually not sure. There are people that truly believe in Keynesian economics. Like, there are people that truly believe that is the correct route, and it's factually proven to be incorrect.
I assume before, this is like what we talked about a little with the homeless conservative guy, that like sometimes people are just negligent and an idiot, and and I do think that people at the positions at that high like he's at, I think that it's more like what would be better, but your job is to keep things running as they are because it suits certain vested interests. And I don't think necessarily that he is doing what he thinks is right for the American people. I think he's doing what's right for those said vested interests or whatever.
Well,
I don't think that it's necessarily that he's like fully convinced that he's like serving the public good all the time, but especially when we're talking about like things that are technically very complex, and there's reams of writing and research and punditry about this. I think it's very easy to just believe the conclusion that it's convenient for you to believe because it personally gives you a lot of power and serves the establishment. Like, if Keynesianism is what's going to allow him to accomplish his personal goals, then I think it would be easy for him to just immerse himself in the Keynesian economic literature to the point where that's what he just thinks is right. Like, I think it would be pretty unlikely that the entire Federal Reserve Board is actually like secretly Austrian in their like belief about how the economy works, but they are enacting Keynesian policy just because they're evil. Like, I think that's probably.
Well, we went through Greenspan at one point, and he was one of the guys in Ayn Rand's circle. So I mean, we know he knew better.
We do know that,
but
but there's no like indication that Powell has ever known better. Like, I've never seen anything that he's done or said that implies that he knows that Keynesian economics is wrong, or that any modern monetary theory is completely incorrect. The guy just seems like a spineless doofus. I don't know. I
will defend him a little bit more.
All right.
I actually have a little bit of defense. Just
okay. Well, we can't have defense of Jerome Powell on this show. I'm just kidding.
No,
Go for it.
I thought you were going to put the
because
Fed
there
because that would be
because there are things that that have happened from him that I think could be considered positive. The move to SOFR from LIBOR.
Now we're really getting into stuff that nobody except real finance bros care about.
Are these more lakes in Venezuela, or?
Yeah. No, I think
we have now entered the section of the podcast where we will do a compare and contrast of the London interbank overnight rate and the secured overnight funds rate.
Everyone just fell asleep. So we're not going to go into those unless we have.
Just some people can go do their own research, and I think some of this.
Yeah, do your own research.
For some of this, like listening to some episodes of like TFTC that Marty Bent does with Tom Luongo, who last time he was on that show kind of had me like, okay, I think you've lost the plot on this, but he's made defenses of Powell and the way Powell's running things at the Fed that kind of sounds like Powell's really taking a strike at the European Central Bank and basically trying to crush them.
Who cares?
Well,
who cares? It's a central bank crushing another central bank so that central bank can become the dominant central bank. But that has there's greater. Yes, that's central bank versus central bank there at that point. But then you're talking about, if you're on LIBOR, you're kind of enslaved to whatever the City of London says. I would prefer,
as much as you hate the Fed,
I would prefer decentralized central banking so that we don't have just one world central bank, and so that the dollar.
But that's not the option we're living with.
That is the option we're living with. There are a bunch of central banks.
Oh, yes, but when you're coming down to the Federal Reserve running, yes. And if it comes down to it, do you want the Federal Reserve running ruining shit, or do you want the fucking City of London ruining shit?
I want both of them ruining stuff. If I have to have a choice between eliminating one of them, I want both of them ruining things. Because
if it's going to be one or the other, who's in control? What do you want?
If that's my only option, then the Federal Reserve is preferable.
The Illuminati is already the point I'm making. Of both, so it doesn't.
But that's not the only option.
It kind of is to that point.
I just
when it comes to these central banks.
Steven says weak ECB equals they sell Greenland. Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
So
the point being, Jerome Powell is a fool. The Federal Reserve is a terrible organization. Nick, do you have anything else to defend?
No, and I don't want to defend the Federal Reserve or anything like that. But I'm saying, as far as Fed chairs
I didn't think you were defending the Fed. I thought you were defending Jerome Powell.
In some ways, I am, because I do think he's within a certain framework. I think he's making moves that are more pro-American than you saw Janet Yellen make, who was fully on board with the European program.
She absolutely was. You're correct with that. She was like part of the World Economic Forum and all that garbage.
So it was either a Yellen type where you're going to have, basically them submitting to Europe, or you're going to have Powell, who seems to be intent on crushing Europe, or at least was there for a while. And I think maybe at home now, you're seeing a little bit more now that the Trump pressure's on to cut rates, do what I say, and remove the quote unquote independence of the Fed. Is that, they claim the Fed has. We know it doesn't. We know Congress has a lot to say there. And that the Federal Reserve basically, you appoint a Fed chair who's going to give you the economic policy you want, right? So
fair.
The Democrats want to spend. So loose money, dump that money into the system, let the interest rates come down, and then you've got the more constrained, and you've got someone trying to manage it, right? I mean, the whole reason that Donald Trump is unhappy with Jerome Powell is that Powell's not slashing interest rates quick enough for him.
Yeah.
Which we know that's a bad thing too.
So here's the question, Nick. Would you rather have Janet Yellen basically implementing World Economic Forum stuff, or Jerome Powell on camera every night going,
I'll take the Jerome Powell, because I cannot stand Janet Yellen.
Janet Yellen or Jerome slurping?
That's
So that's me trying to give, I guess, a little bit of a defense and alternate perspective too.
All right, I'll take it. I like alternate perspectives. Speaking of, we're going to have some alternate perspectives coming up over the next few weeks. We've got a lot of guests lining up to be on the show. It's going to be a fun time. I forget who's on next week, but we do have a guest on next week. So be sure to come back and for that episode. It's going to be a fun one. Then I think February 5th, so 3 weeks from now, we've got a comedian coming on.
Hey, I get to drink when the comedian's on. That's at least good.
There we go. Heck yeah.
Is this comedian named Adam Nutter?
This comedian is not named Adam Nutter because we hate Adam Nutter on this show. I don't know if you got the memo. Adam Nutter sucks butt, and we won't allow him back on this show again.
Is this just because of the cheetah comment, or
no? I think this is just because Zach arbitrarily picked us to have some guy we pick a feud with, and it's Adam Nutter.
Yes.
What is this about?
And we have an AI generated song a while back that just repeatedly said Adam Nutter sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. The end of the song was Adam Nutter sucks. I can't wait to put this out as a clip and tag him repeatedly. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to this longer version. I mean, barely longer at this point. It went way shorter than I thought it would. I thought it'd be about 2.5 hours. We're gonna watch
on track.
We're gonna watch a few funny videos before we get out of here. But before we do that, go on over to peacefulc.network. We've got some changes coming up to the Dollar Media Club, to the website. We're going to make it far more community oriented. Our Discord will soon be completely free to join so that we can create a community of folks who are more self-sufficient, who share knowledge, who share wisdom with each other, and kind of create a little community of folks that want to help each other out over the next however many years we keep this alive. So head on over to Peaceful C Network and check out what we're doing over there. You can also watch a bunch of other shows, including Philosophical Fall Guy, The Cascade Effect, which season 2 comes out not very far from now. The teaser comes out on Monday. Teaser comes out on Monday, and season 2 comes out, I'm hoping, February. Okay. That's what I'm hoping. First episode drops, and this season is going to be wild. It involves some homicide, some raping,
sprinkle in a little raping,
some child molestation.
Oh my god!
Some imprisonment. It's an insane season. All of those crimes covered up or propped up by the Cascade County Sheriff's Department and Great Falls Police Department.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that because this has turned into a season of Cascade Effect, that the imprisonment was not as a consequence of raping and molestation.
Correct. It was a consequence of the police going after incorrect individuals on purpose. There's an innocent guy in jail in Arizona for life for crimes that he did not commit. So we're going to be covering that. It's 3 stories intertwined, and it's a wild one. So highly recommend going to check out first season of Cascade Effect if you haven't already. It's the most viewed show by far on Peaceful C Network. For some reason, there's a huge community on Facebook that loves that show. You can also watch it on Rumble. There's a decent amount of people watching it on there. But yeah, if you want to interact with other folks that watch it, you can either go into the Dollar Media Club or into the Discord over at Peaceful C Network, or into the Facebook group, the Cascade Effect. So
the concept of being imprisoned wrongly in general, but for life especially, has always, since I was like a kid and like heard about it and like just like could grasp the concept, has always like sat with me as one of like the just like worst tragedies of life. Like just taking someone's total freedom forever and just being, and you didn't even do the damn thing. It really, I don't know. It's just one of the worst things that I can conceive of.
Well, as Dwight Schrute said, better 1,000 innocent men locked up than one pervert roam free. You know. All right, y'all. Yeah, smash that like button, leave a comment, share this with your friends, and come back next week. We're going to watch some funny videos, and then we're going to get out of here.
Caress the subscribe button.
Big spoon it. Are these kids?
Yes. They're children.
This is an intermission game at a Hershey Bears game.
They've got the game down. Wow, that's an all-out brawl.
And the rest
Did he just hit his own teammate? Someone just hit their own teammate. What's happening?
Where are the adults in this situation?
Yeah, like we need to get there quicker than this. This is crazy. At least they put their sticks down, you know.
This is so fun. No, that guy's swinging stick.
Nope.
Oh,
Never
there we
mind.
go.
Oh, there they go. Yeah. No one's dropped their gloves yet.
Yeah, they've at least got gloves on. So
Oh my god!
Goes up and just.
It would be hilarious if like an adult ref came in and just decked a kid. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's
crazy. Yeah, that was a long time for no adult to be there.
Yeah,
Someone's like, I gotta lace up my skates. Hold on.
that was a full minute of kids fighting each other on the
That's
air.
insane.
All right,
And to think that was the same stadium where Wilt Chamberlain had his 100-point game.
Exactly.
Is that the stadium where the Maple Leafs play?
No.
Oh, this is the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Jesus.
I did some wrestling there back in the day.
On ice? Wrestling on ice?
Wow, that sucks. All right, I think this is one that Alden shared.
Hold it right there.
I don't need a man was a person.
Hold it right there.
Oh,
Do you see the comment? She landed straight in the kitchen where she.
Oh God.
Marty, yeah.
Yeah, don't stand on the sheetrock.
Yeah, she literally got down on the one part of that ceiling that she shouldn't be standing on.
You can't spell sheetrock without she, though. You know.
It's good. All right, here's some Finn Taylor comedy.
To birth, where we are born and who we are born to. So you shouldn't use your position to belittle others because they don't know.
But that was the original point of etiquette, if I'm not mistaken.
Back in Louis XIV's time in France.
Yes.
I would say now etiquette is quite democratic. So obviously Louis XIV, etc., would make the rules originally, and then even British royal families back historically would sort of, you took your lead from court. But, you know, things like when to change your Netflix password when you split up with your ex, the king is not coming up with that rule. We are deciding that rule.
No, I think he still uses Diana's password.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I would say
she didn't have time to change it.
No,
I've heard her password was weaker than her seatbelt.
Right. Well, that was nice. Just password security for you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
so you big fan of the Royals?
I think they're better than the opposite.
What is the opposite of the Royals? Jade Goody?
No, a Republic.
The Republicans?
Yes.
Yes. Terrifying.
It's an accent of birth.
Terrifying. Yeah, Finn Taylor, that guy's got some funny interviews. I think we played one or two of them.
Yeah.
Before. All right, final one. I think this was Nick. This is a guy out hunting in the woods.
Man, so there's a guy back there. He's got like green khakis on. And he keeps saying, "Stop, gay Mormon! Stop, gay Mormon! Gay Mormon!"
Oh man!
Right up Nick's alley. Nick hates game wardens.
I do hate
go back
game
and watch a few episodes ago. Nick going on a rant about game wardens.
Game wardens to Gitmo.
Game wardens to Gitmo. We might have one piece of merch coming out just to satisfy Nick.
Just so I can buy it and wear it.
There we go. All right, y'all. That'll do it for this week's episode 158 of Liberty Libations. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Peace.